just wondering, Vicar, what time you were coming round to collect the jumble. Oh, good. Have you? Oh, that's splendid. Well, let's hope you do even better than last year. Goodbye, Vicar. Oh, I'm afraid you've got to go.
June!
Hello, darling.
Oh, the traffic was terrible. I don't know why people have cars.
You do?
Ah, well, that's different. I mean, I've got to. Here, what on earth's this?
Jumble.
Oh, who gave it to us?
Well, it's ours.
Well, I don't want it. Get rid of it.
That is exactly what I'm trying to do. I've spent all day collecting it together.
Oh, Mum, haven't we got anything better to do? Ever since the kids left home, we've been nothing but work ourselves into a frazzle.
I enjoy it.
But you should be starting to enjoy yourself. Relax, read a book, watch television. Get my supper.
Sorry, darling, I haven't had time to do that yet.
Isn't it marvellous? For the first time in years, we've got a chance of devoting our lives to each other, and you're branching out on your own as an antique dealer.
They're hardly antiques. And anyway, I am not selling them. I am giving them to the church.
Ah, that's different. Ah, yes. Quite right. Yes, quite right. Looks like we've done them proud. It is more blessed to give than to receive. Here, they're not having that. That's far too valuable, that is.
That is an old meat dish.
No, that's Worcester. Worcester, 1780, 1790. If you look on the back, you'll find the telltale mark, Worcester mark of that period, a little blue crescent.
It says made in Birmingham.
It's very near Worcester.
And there's no blue crescent.
Well, what do you expect? After 200 years, I mean, it could have faded.
It's an old reject, and I bought it years ago, and we've never even used it.
All right, sling it out. But when you read in next week's local paper that a Worcester meat dish is being auctioned at Sotheby's, don't blame me.
No, dear, I won't.
Right, now, do you like a drink?
Oh, yes. You know, turning out junk is thirsty work.
Yes, well, let's make quite sure it is junk.
Well, it all came out of the attic.
Yeah, and that's where most people are sitting on a great deal of wealth and don't realise it. Now, let's see what other priceless objets d'art you're bunging in the vicar's way.
Well, you better hurry up, because he's coming round to collect it in a minute.
Is he? Cheers.
Cheers.
Now, what have we here?
Oh, painting.
Oh, yeah, not much of one either, is it? Oh dear, no wonder you're chucking it out. What on earth possessed us to buy this?
We didn't. It was done by Debbie when she was about 13.
Was this done by our own daughter, and you'd throw it out?
Well, I don't think Debbie'll mind. I mean, she was never particularly proud of it.
Yeah, but I am. I mean, I like it. It has a certain childish sort of innocence and beauty about it. Look at that lovely lopsided little house there. And look at the way that man's legs disappeared into the river. No, I think we'll keep it. It has a certain reminiscent value to it. And it's nice to have things to remind us about our kids. I hope we're not throwing any of Frank's stuff out, are you?
Oh, no, only that old cricket bat.
Oh. When I think of the runs that have flowed from this bat. I'm not sure, but I think I may have used this bat in the last Father's match.
There weren't too many runs flowing from it then, dear. What is that thing they call it in cricket? What is it, a duck, is it?
Well, I mean, the umpire wasn't even looking. I mean, LBW my foot. I mean, it was one of the worst decisions ever made. I mean, it was talked about for weeks afterwards.
Only by you?
Yeah, well, I think we'll keep it just for Frank's sake anyway. Anyway, it might come in handy if I ever have to deal with a burglar.
You probably miss him as well.
All right, get rid of it then. Get rid of it.
I wondered, dear, if you might like this for the sale.
Oh, Lucy, dear, that's lovely. Are you sure you want to part with it?
Oh, yes, dear. I'm afraid it's rather like me, seen better days.
Lucy, thank you.
Hello, Terry.
Oh, evening, Lucy. You still with us?
Yes. I'm afraid I can't find a flat.
No, well, you'll just have to share. I mean, that's what all the girls are doing these days.
Oh, I don't think I'd like the idea of other ladies being there all the time.
Oh, I'm sure they get out of the way when your boyfriend comes round.
There's never been anybody else since my poor dear Percy.
Of course not, dear, and thank you very much for the shawl. Perhaps Lucy'd like a drink, dear.
Would you like a drink, Lucy?
Well, I don't think so, really, dear. It's rather early for me.
Please yourself.
Well, perhaps just a little sherry. If it's not too much trouble.
No, of course it isn't.
Well, I don't think we've got any left.
Well, have a look.
No, I can't see it.
It's in the corner behind the gin. Now, tell me, dear, when is this jumble sale?
Oh, Saturday afternoon. Now, you are going to come with us, aren't you?
Well, dear, if you don't mind, I think I'd rather stay at home and watch the racing.
Oh, Lucy, you do enjoy your little flutter, don't you?
Well, only in moderation.
Like your sherry.
But I think if you'll excuse me, I'll take this up to my room. I don't want to be in the way, and I expect you've got things you want to talk about.
No, not really. We're just waiting for the vicar to come and collect this lot.
Ah, well, now, don't forget to tell him that the shawl came from Bombay.
I will.
My poor dear Percy got it off a native girl by the roadside.
Bit of a devil, your Percy, wasn't he?
Oh, he paid for it.
Oh, bet he did.
Do you know, that's really rather lovely.
Yes, why don't we keep this and send her to the sale?
Right in.
Ah,
Good evening.
Really,
Oh,
sir?
hello,
Really,
Vicar.
sir?
Nearly ready.
Please don't worry, there's no rush.
Oh, do sit down.
Yes, take a pew.
Thank you. Very well, you have been busy.
Terry.
Yes?
Ask the vicar what he'd like.
What would you like?
Drink.
Oh, of course. What would you like to drink?
Well, if you insist, just a very small drop of,
Sherry?
or whiskey, or whatever.
Whiskey. All right. How do you think you'll do this year?
We may well surpass expectations, judging from this little treasure trove. My word, that's a very fine stick. I might be persuaded to spend a few pence on this myself. Yours?
Well, it is. I'm in June. June. What is this stick which I'm still using, mixed up with this rubbish junk treasure trove? I mean, my father gave me that.
I wouldn't dream of robbing you of a family heirloom.
Oh, no, Vicar, please take it.
But if I take it for myself, I will, of course, contribute to the sale. Now, what would you consider it worth? 40 pence?
Oh, I'd make it 50.
Done, it's yours.
I'm not quite sure about the ethics of this, Vicar. There we are. Oh, there's your scotch.
Thank you.
Shall we say 30 pence?
Touche.
Oh, no, Vicar, please. My husband was only due.
Well, of course I was.
One needs a sense of humour these days. Life is becoming more difficult all the time. I'm afraid it's such a materialistic world. Some of us seem to have lost that which is most precious to us.
Some of us managed to get it back, though. And Mark, you're right. I mean, everybody's out for themselves these days. I mean, what has happened to human relationships? I mean, where is compassion? I mean, the community spirit is a thing of the past, but it's up to all of us. It is up to each and every one of us to find our own way back, along the path, the right path.
Terry, darling, I'm sure the vicar doesn't want a sermon.
Well, it makes a change. You have to listen to mine every week.
Oh, very good they are, too. It must be very difficult every week finding different ways of saying the same thing.
Thank you.
Oh, I mean it. No, I do mean it. I mean, it's not just an empty compliment. I mean, you do the best you can under the circumstances. I mean, it's not your fault that hardly anybody turns up. I mean, it's the community's fault. It is our fault.
Yes, it is rather distressing to see the congregation dropping off.
Oh, I don't think they do that, no?
He means in numbers, dear.
Yes, of course.
One
Yes.
is always trying to increase the attendance, of course. The parish magazine is delivered to as many houses as possible. I hope you get yours all right.
Oh, yes, we read it religiously every month.
But it doesn't bring more people to the church.
The point is, I think it should be sold.
Oh, no. Oh, we've had the roof repaired. Things are not as bad as all that.
No, I didn't mean that. I mean, from a commercial point of view. See, I mean, being an area representative, I do know something about selling. What you want to do is to do a few publicity stunts. I mean, get yourself more in the paper.
Oh, I don't know about that. The last vicar had his name in the papers, if you remember.
I still think you need a few gimmicks, a few publicity stunts to get yourself in the public eye. I've got it. What do you like at bending forks?
Oh, I don't think I'm very good at that.
Well, could you stop the odd clock, then?
Terry, don't make such stupid suggestions.
I'm not making stupid suggestions. Suppose you woke up one morning and found the weather vane on top of the church steeple bent in half. I mean, you've had the television cameras round there like a shot, and the following Sunday the place would be packed. Everybody would be waiting there, wondering what you were going to do with your candlesticks.
No, I think we'll leave matins as it is.
Very wise, Vicar.
All the same, it is sad to see it so, empty. Of course, I feel it's a great asset having people in to read the lesson. It gives that sense of participation. Mr. Cutforth does it very well, considering.
Oh, yes, one doesn't worry for him so much now. He does seem to be getting the words out all right.
He gets them out. It's how long we have to wait for them.
It's worked wonders for his confidence, but perhaps it's time to give someone else a chance.
Oh. Oh, what a jolly good idea, Vic.
Trouble is finding someone. You've no idea how many people are too nervous to do it.
Oh, really? I can hardly believe that, really.
Well, I wouldn't care to.
Well, no, but I can imagine it's rather difficult, a bit of a problem to find somebody who can do it well, you know, with a sort of sense of, a proper sense of presence and a bit of authority and a good, strong voice that carries, you know, and a personality.
Yes, those are the qualities, but do you know anyone who's got them?
Yeah, well, I'll start putting this junk in the car then.
Oh, thank you. I'll help you.
No, you carry on drinking your whiskey or whatever. Thank you very much.
Vicar, I suppose it isn't really up to me to say this, but had you ever thought of asking my husband to read the lesson?
No, I haven't, as a matter of fact. What a splendid idea. Do you think he could be persuaded?
Oh, yes, I think so, yes.
Of course, he does so much already. I wouldn't like him to think I was taking advantage of him.
Oh, no, I'm sure he'd be very flattered, and I know he'd do it well. I mean, after all, he has a suitable presence, a bit of authority, and a voice that carries.
Have you got the car key?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'll do it.
Oh, no, fine.
Vicar.
Oh, by the way, your wife and I have just had rather a good idea.
I'm not buying anything else back.
No, darling, the vicar suddenly had a brainwave. He thought of asking you to read the lesson.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I couldn't. I mean, well, what on earth made you think of me?
I think it was something you said yourself.
Something I said? Oh, something I said? Well, it must have been quite unintentional, I assure you.
Oh, you wouldn't be interested then?
Well, I mean, I couldn't decide right now. I mean, you know, I can't decide on the spur of the moment.
No, I quite understand.
All right, then, yes.
Splendid. Of course, I'll have to let Mr. Cutforth do it this week, but would the following Sunday be all right?
Oh, yes, I think that would give me ample time to prepare.
Oh, good, that's settled then.
Okay.
Are you sure you can manage all this,
Oh, yes. I've left houses more loaded than this.
So I've heard, Vicar. By the way, just a thought about my reading. Might it be an idea to sort of just mention it this Sunday in the notices?
In the notices?
Yes, don't make a big thing of it. Just sort of drop it in en passant. You know, never know. You know, word of mouth gets around. You may find a few more people turn up for that particular Sunday.
Well, yes, certainly. If I think of it.
Don't worry, he'll remind you. What a nice man.
Oh, good bloke. Oh, yes, very dedicated, yes. He knows what he wants and goes after it. My goodness me, he certainly talked me into that, didn't he?
Well, I suppose I better go and do something about our dinner, or shall we eat out?
No, not tonight, dear. Just a quick snack. I've got rather a lot to do, actually.
Oh.
When is it?
Oh, well, I'm afraid I put it in with the jumble.
You did what?
Well, that awful old green horse. I didn't think you'd miss it.
No, I'm not talking about the horse. I'm talking about our copy of the Very Holy Bible.
Oh, Terry, no, you're not going to start already, are you? I mean, look, there's 10 days before you read the lesson and you don't even know what it's going to be.
But look, I've got to get into the mood of it. I've got to think myself into the part. You know, live Old Testament. I bet that's what Charlton Heston did in the Ten Commandments.
I can see we're in for an epic.
I wonder how long it would take me to grow a beard. Morning, love. Tea, come on up. Tea, come on. Tea up, love. Come on.
Thank you.
Papers on the bed. Although I set myself, I make a lovely cup of tea. Come on, drink up. Come on.
I will in a minute.
Yeah. Don't let it get cold. All right.
No, I won't.
Is it all right then? All right then.
Fine.
Good.
Terry?
Yeah?
What time is it?
Oh, it's nearly 8.
This clock says 25 too.
Well, it's getting on for 8.
It's Sunday. What are you doing, getting up at 25 to 8?
Well, I'm getting you a cup of tea.
I wanted to lie in.
Well, we can lie in with a cup of tea and newspapers. Now, how many other wives are getting that sort of treatment now?
Not many. Most of them are sleeping on, which is what I wanted to do.
Well, what do you want to go back to sleep for?
Well, I'm tired. And it's about the first time since the kids went that I haven't had to get up and cook breakfast for everyone.
Yes, well, we may remember that although we've lost 3 kids, we have gained Aunt Lucy and a minor bird.
Oh, well, she's no trouble. It doesn't really take much, just a sort of piece of toast and marmalade and coffee.
And that's only the bird. I don't think it's a minor bird at all. I think it's a vulture. No, it's true. No, whenever I'm not feeling well, he sort of hovers. You get on with the tea or newspapers or whatever. I've rather a lot to do. The lesson today is taken from the book of Genesis, chapter 42. Now, when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons...
Do we have to have that again?
No. I want to be word perfect this morning.
But you must know it backwards by now. We've had it every day since the vicar asked you to do it.
I want this to be a lesson that they will remember. I mean, I don't want to stand up and make a fool of myself in front of hundreds of people.
28 last week.
Yeah, well, what with old Cutforth stuttering his way through it? God, blimey, it was longer than the sermon.
Yes, dear, but at the moment you've got a congregation of only one and she's not really listening, so there is no need to shout.
I am not shouting. I'm trying to give it some feeling. I'm in some trouble with people who read the lessons to them and they just say it. There's no thought behind it. I'm trying to give it character. And Jacob said, why do ye look upon one another? And he said, behold, I heard that there is corn in Egypt.
There's a bit of corn in Ealing, too. You're not going to do it like that, are you?
What is wrong? What is wrong with that, may I ask?
Terry, they want you to read the lesson, not Long John Silver. You might as well hop up to the lectern on a crutch with Lucy's bird on your shoulder.
Just get on with your newspaper, will you, please? And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, peradventure, mischief befall him.
I suppose they'll know what you're talking about.
Well, it's beautifully put. Lest peradventure mischief befall him. I mean, what do you expect him to say? Lest a funny thing happen on the way to the Pharaohs? I mean, this is English. This is English as it should be written. Now, listen to this. Now, listen. And the sons of Israel came to buy corn amongst those that came. For the famine was in the land of Canaan. And they said one to another, wherefore is this distress come upon us? And Reuben answered them, did I not say to you, do not sin against the Lord?
You can't do it like that.
Well, what's the matter? No, I didn't write this, you know. I didn't write it. I mean, it is Israel, isn't it? I mean, with a name like Reuben, he's got to be Jewish, isn't he?
You cannot do it in that voice. You'll offend half the people in church.
Well, I shouldn't think there'd be any Jewish people there.
If you do it like that, there won't be anybody there.
Well, if you feel that strongly about it, I won't do it Jewish.
Good.
And Reuben answered them, saying, did I not say to you, begorra? Do not sin against us, boy.
That settles it. I am not going to church today.
No, you've got to be there for my big moment. You have.
Terry, it's Sunday morning at St. Luke's, not Sunday night at the Palladium.
Well, that does it. No, I'm not going. No.
Oh, darling.
No, I'm not going on. I'm not going on. No, the 11 o'clock service can go on without me.
Terry, why can't you just read the lesson like it's always been read?
Yeah, and what happened? What happens? Fidgeting, coughing, nose blowing, dozing off?
Oh, who does that?
Well, I do for a start. I want to do this properly. I mean, I want to have them on the edge of their seats. I want to galvanise them into action. I want to move them.
You do that all right, and I doubt if they'll ever come back.
All right, that does it. All right, okay.
Oh, dear. Now I've offended you.
No, I haven't. I just think it's a pity that there are those amongst us who could do with a little more faith, patience, and understanding. I think all of us, without exception, could benefit from a spiritual awakening. The inner light that cleanses us all of imperfection, impurity, and deep-rooted intolerance. That woman's in the bloody bathroom again! It's the same every morning. What's she doing in there?
She's probably cleansing herself of imperfection and intolerance.
Well, she's a damn nuisance. And what's she doing up at this unearthly hour?
Some of those amongst us are inclined to do that on Sunday morning.
I'm not standing any more of it, I tell you. Lucy?
Is that you, Terry?
Yes, yes, it's me.
I'm in the bathroom.
Oh, really? Have you got that bird in there?
It's Gunga Din.
What's he doing, carrying the water?
Ah, well, he likes his little shower, you know. Ah, there's a nice clean boy for his Uncle Terry. Oh, we are a little chatterbox this morning, aren't we? I've never known him say so much. That shows he's happy here. He feels thoroughly at home.
Tell me, Lucy, have you ever thought of having him stuffed?
He doesn't mean that, dear. Uncle Terry likes his little joke.
And he likes his little bathroom, too. Do you mind if I go in, please?
Shall we go and say good morning to Auntie June, dear?
Excuse me,
Yes, dear?
I think these must be yours. Now, when Jacob saw... Now, when Jacob saw there was corn. Now, when Jacob... Morning. How many does that make?
19, not counting us.
21. God, blow, where is everybody? Perhaps some of them gone in already.
They can't have. We've been here since 10:30. Can't think why we had to get here so early.
Well, I wanted to get into the spirit of the thing and sort of size up the congregation.
We know the size, dear. It's 21.
22. Good morning, Mrs. Phillips.
Oh, good morning, Mrs. Phillips.
morning, Mrs.
Where's your husband this morning?
Playing tennis, I'm afraid.
What, at his age?
He's still very keen.
Well, he was always here. I wonder if his tennis club's far away. Perhaps I could nip round...
Terry, you can't do that.
Oh, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good morning. You're going past. I say...
You cannot solicit outside the church.
Dear, what time is it now?
Oh, about 2 minutes to.
Oh, dear. Terrible shame. Still, it's their loss, isn't it? Here, here's old Cupforth.
Don't say anything rude about his reading last week.
Of course I will. Morning, my man.
Morning.
How are you?
Oh, fine. We're going to have the pleasure of hearing you this morning.
I haven't got much to follow there, have I?
So long as you keep your promise and just do it absolutely straight.
I promise.
No funny accents or ha-ha, Jim lads.
Yeah, I'm just going to read it. Yeah, hang on, just a minute.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Fletcher. You're late this morning.
Well, go on, get in. Taken from the book of Genesis, chapter 42, beginning at the first verse. Now, when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, he said unto his sons, Why do ye look one upon another? And he said, Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin... Joseph's brother Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, Could I have a glass of water, please? Lest peradventure mischief before. I do apologize, please. And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, there was a big famine in Egypt. And Joseph was the governor over the land, and he it was who sold to the people of the land. Thank you. Excuse me. And Joseph saw his bath run, brethren, and he knew them, but made himself orange unto them. Strange unto them. And spoke roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? And they said, From the land of Canada. Canaan today. No, to buy. Fool. And Joseph renumbered the creams. No, he didn't. No, he remembered. That's why he remembered the creams. Dreams. The dreams which he dreamed of them. And he said unto them. And he said unto them, Here endeth the lesson.
It's all right. They've all gone.
Are you sure?
Yes, come.
Have you got the sunglasses with you?
I think so. Why?
Give them to me. Never mind why, just hand them over. I'm not taking any chances. Now go and bring the car round to the gate.
Terry, now you're just being childish.
Just do as I say. Hurry up.
Oh, right.
Better luck next week, Mr. Fletcher.